Hey guys, how are you doing? Crypto Insight UK here, bringing you back another video. So today we're just going to be talking about TA essentially. We're going to be looking at XRP. I'm going to talk about Bitcoin a little bit. I'm going to use the liquidity, and we're going to try and see if we can push this piece together of this jigsaw that's going to bring us hopefully towards our next rally. Obviously, yesterday we touched on some key figures in the space, talking about what they thought was going to come next. And today in the newsletter, it's obviously a day late, being released today, that we tweeted about it coming out today instead of yesterday. I've talked about the macro factors that I think will set us up for a face melting rally for the rest of this bull market, whenever that may come. And I've explained the macro reasons as to why I think that is coming. But now we're just trying to guess the short term, which obviously I say guess. We guess with the information that we've been given, and we give our best estimates and best places to be able to buy. That's what we do. That's why when I come on here, I reiterate my message quite a lot. I'm telling you guys exactly what I think, why I think it, and finding more evidence to prove or disprove whatever I think. So with all that being said, we posted this the other day, and we've talked about this obviously on YouTube. This area here is where I'll be DCAing. You can see here it was a breaker structure to the upside, and then when we've entered this zone, we haven't had long in here, and it's either pushed to the upside or wicked down quite heavily. We've got this leverage zone below us because this is below the range. So if we did get a sweep into this area, you'd hope that it was something like a wick, or as I said, like a sweep. Could be something that could look like this potentially. Could come in, down, something like that. You'd love to see some bearish divergence and bullish divergences forming in these areas. If we did get a structure like that, that'd be great. So with that being said, we have got some more information today than we have had for the last few weeks around leverage. We're going to touch on in a second. But on the daily time frame, I want to draw your attention to the stochastic RSI at the bottom here. In the DCA zone, which again I think is a good area to buy, so that's why I call it the DCA zone, good area to buy spot. We can start to fill some orders in this area. Because if we get the leverage opportunity, which is not a guarantee, it's going to just have to be a filled bid potentially, and then go in, because it could just be a wick as much as it could be the structure that I've showed you there. But drawing you back to stochastic RSI, what we've seen is when we've crossed bullish in the oversold territory was like this area last, and then we had that spike to the upside, and before that was like here, we had a spike to the upside. It's been not a bad indicator in terms of saying, look, we're close to a bottom, not necessarily exactly at the bottom, but when we've crossed bullish and come back above the oversold, it's a pretty good indication that we're going to have a rally. So I'm keeping my eye on that, because it's been quite telling so far, this range. So that's where I am in terms of price action. And what do I say has changed? What am I looking at here? I've just posted this over on X. This is exactly the same chart, XRP, but just on the 4-hourly. So we're much more zoomed in than the daily time frame that we were just on. But I want to draw your attention to this now. Price action has been decreasing as open interest has been increasing. At the same time, aggregated funding is as high as it has been pretty much this whole move. I'm going to show you some interest in a second. The last time we were like at this height was is here, and then I'm going to show you something you're going to find, I think, quite interesting. And premium is also negative. Essentially, this is what this means is like longs are paying shorts. So there's more shorts open in the market right now than there are longs, and when that happens, we can see a short squeeze. So last time we got funding down to these sorts of levels was here and here. Here is one, and here was the other. And look, although this wasn't the exact bottom, what you do need to pay attention to is that when we broke past this like previous high, when this funding was this low, we had the short squeeze. Because what it's basically saying is shorts are going to have their stop losses like up into these areas, so then you can squeeze them out of positions. I think a similar thing will probably play out here. We've got all this extra open interest. In fact, open interest is higher than it was here. So I think what will happen is we'll get a short squeeze, and we might go higher than the $3 mark on this next short squeeze, should we start to break some of these key levels. So we get a break of 249, we probably get towards the highs of the range. Does this mean we do that now, or do we have a further flush to come? As I said, in this area here, this is where the leverage was high. The funding was the highest, as in lowest, the most negative. And we did try and rally, and we didn't. And we actually had one more flush down before we actually made that rally into the short squeeze. So we could potentially have one more flush down, or we could go for the push and try and get rid of some of the short side liquidity as well. So that's what I'm watching. Obviously, a big build up in open interest. Does it mean it's the bottom? No. When coupled with this chart, okay, DCA area, are we going to have a flush down into the leverage zone for us to be able to pick up a leverage trade? That'd be fantastic if we could, and then continue to the upside. I don't know. I'm just discussing what I see with you guys. However, to bring this all together, this is something we've been looking at a lot. This is the liquidity chart for Bitcoin in the hourly, and as we discussed, it's come down and flushed this leverage below us. This is what I was talking about. I said, does it come down to this level? I'm not so sure, but I did think it would bring us into here. And since then, look, we've had an increase in short positions. Literally since the bottom, more and more people are shorting. I think that does indicate to me there's going to be a rally coming up towards this $92,000 mark. I want to say imminently, but I don't know how imminent is. That's where it gets difficult. I presume we will start to see the rally up to 92. It will take us higher and higher, but do we get that flush down deeper first? I don't know. There's a lot of scare in the market right now, and that means two things. One, people are oversized on one side of the trade emotionally, but two, there's people can get moved around in fear and negativity very easily, especially when what we talked about yesterday, exchanges are at record lows of crypto. It doesn't take a lot of price action to be able to manipulate price one way or another. So could we get the flush to the downside before the move up? Yes, there's definitely potential of that. If we zoom into the short-term time frame, it does look to me like the upside liquidity is looking a lot more juicy than what we've got on the downside. So I would expect price to start to head up there. With that being said, still similar thoughts with ENA and CRV. ENA is looking pretty nice for a buy, to be honest. I might start adding to my bags. Let's see, I already have a little position in ENA, like one of my smaller positions. CRV potentially has a little bit further to come. I don't know if we quite got what I was looking for. It's difficult to say. Let's go on the daily. I'll show you what I was showing. Is my drawing accurate? Maybe not precise. Like, probably about as accurate as we can get. And there is a tiny little gap into the support area. Maybe we get a push down into that area, maybe we don't, but that's obviously where I'm looking in this green lines where I've moved my buy up to 43.88. I was going to use this block here, but then I thought there's a lot more potential support and resistance on this green line. So I was like, look, let's not be greedy. And I looked at the percentage differences and what it would make me or not make me if I didn't get that filled. So I was just like, look, I'll take the chance and move it into that area. I think Flare's also in a decent accumulation area here. We've been discussing this for a while, and I don't know, at some point I feel like it's going to turn up. We're holding potentially a higher low at the minute. We've swept most of the liquidity apart from what's below our initial wave, our wave 2 or wave 1. Depending on how low this correction comes, we may have to reassess our wave count because it could invalidate some things. If we come too much lower, let's see. Nothing's changed yet. Nothing's changed. So, with all that being said, DCA in this area here, I think is technically a good option. And leverage just below where we are now. But be aware that if we do start to squeeze to the upside, it could be quite aggressive because of what I've just showed you. The last thing I'll show you is we've reached the price action that I said that we could move down to for Bitcoin, down into this circle. Do we again have a little bit further down to come? I don't know what the answer to that question is. I said 82k I thought we'd definitely get, and then now I'm unsure. So I'm watching for the move back to the upside. I think this liquidity is going to be taken at some point, probably very soon. Whether we get one flush down or not before that, I don't know. Weekend price action is always a little tricky, less volume, and it gives institutions a weekend to think about what they're going to do on Monday. So watching into Monday and Tuesday this week is where we're going to see, I think, the potential moves and a bit more direction for the next weeks or so. Hope you enjoyed the video, guys. If you did, please hit that subscribe button, hit the like button, share it with a friend, and if you've got any questions, ask me in the comment section below. Peace up, A-Town Downs, Crypto Insight UK would say.